In the quiet forge of the soul, where fire tempers steel and discipline shapes the spirit, lies the path few dare to walk. The solitary way of the warrior, like Miyamoto Musashi, who carved his destiny with unwavering resolve. We stand at the crossroads of fleeting desires and eternal strength. The ancient flame of Hagane no Ishi, the spirit of forged will, burns within us, a relentless force amidst the ever-changing winds of Mujo. It is here, in the crucible of solitude and relentless discipline, that true mastery is born. To walk alone is not to be lost, but to embrace the unyielding silence where clarity, purpose, and power converge. Warriors of this path, I invite you to commit, to temper your resolve like hardened steel, to kindle your spirit through unwavering practice, and to embrace the principles that guide those who walk with honor, courage, and profound self-mastery. Comment X if you vow to join this journey, and subscribe to stand alongside a brotherhood and sisterhood of souls forging themselves anew. Together, we become the embodiment of Shin, the heart of true strength. Thank you for being part of this sacred fellowship. To embrace solitude is to willingly step into the silent dojo of the soul, where no applause, no validation, and no noise can distract you from who you truly are. In solitude you face the raw, unfiltered version of yourself, the fears you hide, the doubts you bury, and the dreams you postpone. This is not loneliness. It is a sacred training ground where your mind sharpens like a blade, repeatedly drawn across the whetstone of awareness. When you choose solitude, you detach from the constant pull of opinions and expectations, and you begin to hear a quieter, deeper voice within. The voice of purpose, of truth, of inner command. You learn to walk without needing footsteps beside you, to trust your own judgment, and to depend on your own strength. In that stillness, distractions fall away, and what truly matters stands out with clarity. Great warriors, thinkers, and creators all understood this. Solitude is where vision is born and character is forged. When you can stand alone without flinching, without begging the world to understand you, you become someone the world cannot easily move, break, or control. Relentless self-discipline is the unseen sword you carry long before any battle begins. The quiet vow you make when no one is watching and no praise is promised. It is waking up when comfort begs you to sleep, training when your body pleads for rest, and choosing what is necessary over what is easy, again and again, until it becomes your nature. This discipline is not occasional motivation, it is a lifelong contract with your higher self. Signed in the ink of effort and consistency, each small decision, what you eat, how you spend your time, what you focus on, either sharpens or dulls your blade. Relentless self-discipline demands that you rule your impulses instead of being ruled by them, that you command your mind instead of obeying your weakest thoughts. You become the kind of warrior who doesn't wait for perfect conditions, who doesn't depend on moods, who doesn't negotiate with excuses. Over time, your actions carve a new identity. Someone who can be trusted to follow through, someone who does not collapse under pressure, someone whose word to themselves is unbreakable. This is the path where ordinary people are burned away and only forged steel remains. To master the moment is to treat each breath as a battlefield where your focus, emotions, and actions are tested. It means standing fully in the present, not chained to regrets of the past or fantasies of the future, but rooted in the now, where life actually unfolds. When you master the moment, you are not scattered, distracted, or drifting. You are deliberate. Every movement, every word, every choice is made with awareness, like a swordsman who feels the weight of his blade and the rhythm of his opponent's breath. You stop living on autopilot and start noticing the subtle details, your posture, your tone, your thoughts as they arise. Instead of reacting blindly, you respond with intention. In this state, time seems to slow, and what once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. One decision at a time. Mastering the moment is not about perfection, but presence, returning your mind to the task before you each time it wanders. Over days and years, these single focused moments stack together, shaping your destiny. The future is not some distant place you magically arrive at. It is forged in the furnace of this moment, and the next, and the next. To cultivate inner silence is to create a still lake within yourself, untouched by the storms of the outside world. It is not the absence of sound, but the absence of inner chaos, the quieting of the constant noise of worry, comparison, and distraction. In this silence, your thoughts stop crashing into each other like waves, and instead, they settle, revealing the shape of your true priorities and values. Inner silence is trained, not granted. It comes from breathing deeply when anger rises, watching thoughts instead of obeying them, and choosing calm over panic when life presses hard. You begin to notice the space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies your power. In silence you can hear your intuition more clearly, think more precisely, and act more decisively. The world may demand speed and noise, but your strength grows in slowness and quiet. When you can carry inner silence into crowded rooms, tense conflicts, and uncertain futures, you become unshakable. You are no longer dragged by every emotion or opinion. You move from a centered place, like a warrior whose mind is as still as a moonlit pond before drawing his sword. To seek continuous improvement is to live as if your life is a never-ending dojo, where every day offers another chance to refine your technique, sharpen your mind, and strengthen your spirit. It means refusing to believe that you have arrived, no matter how skilled or successful you become. Instead of chasing perfection, you chase progress. Small, deliberate upgrades in how you think, act, and respond to the world. You study your own weaknesses without ego, not to condemn yourself, but to understand where the blade is dull and where the armor is thin. Every mistake becomes a lesson, every setback a teacher, every challenge an invitation to grow. You compare yourself not to others, but to who you were yesterday, and your only goal is to be slightly better than that person. This mindset keeps you humble in victory and resilient in defeat. You never stop learning, never stop adjusting, never stop evolving. Over time, the accumulation of tiny improvements transforms you into someone almost unrecognizable from who you once were. This is the warrior's path. Not a single leap to greatness, but countless small steps, taken with unwavering commitment. To accept impermanence, Mujo, is to understand that everything you hold, love, fear, and fight will one day change, fade, or disappear. And to find strength, not despair, in that truth. It is seeing life like cherry blossoms, breathtaking yet brief, and precious precisely because it cannot last forever. When you embrace Mujo, you stop clinging to what must eventually slip from your hands. People, moments, victories, even your own youth, and instead you learn to fully experience them while they are here. Change no longer feels like an enemy, it becomes your greatest teacher, reminding you that every second matters and nothing is guaranteed. Loss still hurts, but it no longer breaks you, because you understand that endings are woven into the fabric of existence. You begin to hold goals firmly but lightly, working with intensity while staying detached from outcomes. You appreciate joy without fearing its end, and endure hardship knowing it will pass. This acceptance does not make you passive. It makes you razor-focused on what you can control right now. In the flow of Mujo, you move like a warrior who rides with the current of time instead of drowning beneath it. To develop situational awareness is to move through the world like a warrior whose eyes, ears, and intuition are always awake. It means seeing beyond the obvious, reading the energy of a room, the tension in a voice, the small shifts in body language, and the subtle changes in your environment. You stop drifting through life in a fog and start noticing details others overlook, opportunities, threats, patterns, and openings. Situational awareness begins with presence. You cannot sense what is happening around you if your mind is trapped in your phone, your worries, or your fantasies. You train yourself to scan, to observe, to listen deeply, and to connect what you see with what you know. Over time, you anticipate problems before they erupt and recognize chances before they disappear. This awareness is not about paranoia, it is about preparation and understanding. You learn where you stand, who you are dealing with, and what the moment demands of you. In conflict, it keeps you alive. In everyday life, it keeps you sharp. When you walk with heightened awareness, you are not just in the world, you are actively engaged with it, ready to respond with clarity and control. To pursue clarity of purpose is to question why your soul was given breath and refuse to live as if your days are random accidents. It means digging beneath comfort, distraction, and expectation to uncover the mission that makes struggle meaningful and sacrifice worthwhile. You stop asking, "What do others want from me?" and begin asking, "What was I born to give?" This pursuit is not a single moment of revelation, but an ongoing process of stripping away what is false, fate desires, borrowed dreams, shallow goals, until only what truly matters remains. You examine your strengths, your wounds, your passions, and the patterns of your life, searching for the thread that connects them all. When clarity appears, even faintly, you guard it like a flame in the wind, aligning your choices, habits, and relationships with that deeper direction. You say no more often, cut away what doesn't serve, and endure hardship with a different kind of calm, because you know what you are moving toward. With purpose, tiredness becomes training, obstacles become tests, and time becomes sacred. You are no longer just existing, you are advancing on a path only you can walk. To balance mind and body is to live as a whole warrior, not a fragmented one, where thought, emotion, and physical being move in unified rhythm. It means understanding that a sharp mind cannot thrive in a neglected body, and a strong body is wasted if guided by a chaotic mind. You treat your body as your first weapon and your first temple, feeding it with discipline, movement, rest, and nourishment chosen with intention. At the same time, you train your mind through study, reflection, and mental stillness, strengthening your focus like a muscle. Balance is not comfort, it is harmony earned through deliberate choices. Sleep when you're tempted to scroll, exercise when laziness calls, meditate when anxiety pulls, and learn when distraction seduces. You listen to your body's signals instead of ignoring them, and you challenge it instead of babying it. You notice how physical weakness shapes your mood, and how mental stress tightens your muscles, then work to correct both. Over time, your posture reflects your inner state, and your inner state supports your physical presence. In this union, you walk like a warrior whose steps are grounded, whose gaze is steady, and whose energy radiates controlled strength. To adapt like water is to move through life without becoming rigid, to remain yourself while changing shape to meet each challenge. Water does not argue with the rock in its path. It flows around, over, or through it, always finding a way forward. When you embody this spirit, you stop demanding that circumstances be easy or fair, and instead focus on how you can adjust, respond, and evolve. You become less attached to fixed plans and more committed to your core principles, allowing your strategies to shift while your values remain steady. Adaptability is not weakness, it is a higher form of strength, flexible, intelligent, and resilient. You observe what the moment requires, sometimes pressure, sometimes patience, sometimes retreat, sometimes attack. When life heats you, you turn to steam and rise. When it freezes, you become ice and endure. When it opens, you flow freely and advance. By adapting like water, you don't break against obstacles, you reshape them over time. You learn to thrive in uncertainty, stay calm in chaos, and move with the current of reality instead of drowning in resistance. To face fear without hesitation is to stand at the edge of the abyss and refuse to retreat, knowing that courage is not the absence of fear but the mastery of it. Fear rises like a shadow, cold and heavy, trying to freeze your limbs and cloud your mind, but the warrior understands that hesitation gives fear power. When you face fear head-on, you break its grip, transforming trembling into resolve and doubt into action. This requires a heart forged in discipline and a mind trained to see fear not as a threat, but as a signal, an invitation to grow stronger, wiser, and more alive. You don't wait for fear to vanish. You move forward through it, step by deliberate step, knowing that hesitation is the true enemy that paralyzes potential and stifles destiny. In that moment, clarity sharpens, instincts heighten, and the warrior's spirit shines brightest. To face fear without hesitation is to reclaim your power and own your path, no matter how dark or uncertain. It is the moment when you prove to yourself that you are more than your doubts, more than your worries, and more than the whispers of retreat. It is the flame that lights the way forward when all else seems lost. To simplify to essentials is to strip away the noise, the clutter, and the distractions that cloud your vision and weigh down your spirit. Like a master swordsman who discards excess movements and focuses only on the strike that matters, you learn to identify what is truly important and let go of everything else. This requires ruthless honesty and discipline, recognizing that not all tasks, thoughts, or desires deserve your energy. By simplifying, you create space for clarity, purpose, and effectiveness to emerge. You stop chasing fleeting pleasures and superficial achievements, instead centering your attention on the core values and actions that shape your destiny. Simplification is not about deprivation. It is about refinement, about honing your life into a weapon of precision and power. It means choosing quality over quantity, depth over breadth, and intention over reaction. When you live with this focus, you conserve your energy, reduce chaos, and increase your impact. Your decisions become clearer, your actions more deliberate, and your presence more powerful. To simplify to essentials is to walk the path with a light yet unbreakable spirit, carrying only what fuels your journey toward mastery. To honor integrity always is to live by a code that holds your word and actions as sacred, unyielding pillars upon which your entire being stands. It means acting truthfully even when no one watches, choosing honesty over convenience, and standing firm in your values when pressure tempts you to bend or break. Integrity is not a shield worn only in victory, but a constant companion through failure, doubt, and hardship. It demands that you face yourself with brutal honesty, admit mistakes without excuse, and commit to doing what is right rather than what is easy. When you honor integrity, you build a foundation of trust, not just with others, but with your own spirit. And that foundation becomes your greatest strength in moments of chaos and uncertainty. This unwavering commitment sharpens your character like a finely honed blade, cutting through deception, hypocrisy, and fleeting temptations. Living with integrity is choosing long-term honor over short-term gain, embodying the true essence of a warrior who fights not just external battles, but internal ones as well. It is the silent oath that guides your path alone, ensuring that even in solitude, you remain whole and unbreakable. To focus on the present battle is to bring every ounce of your being into the here and now, abandoning distractions and doubts that pull your mind in 1,000 directions. It means sharpening your senses, steadying your breath, and locking your attention on the challenge immediately before you, not the victories won or the fights yet to come. Like a samurai in the heat of combat, your mind becomes a blade of pure concentration, cutting through noise and hesitation to strike with precision and purpose. This focus demands discipline, for the human mind is restless and prone to wander into regrets or fears. But true mastery arises when you train yourself to return again and again to the moment at hand. The present battle is the only reality you can control. Everything else is illusion or uncertainty. By immersing yourself fully in this moment, you harness your skills, instincts, and spirit in perfect alignment. Time slows, distractions fade, and your actions become natural and unstoppable. To focus on the present battle is to honor the fight itself, knowing that how you face each challenge shapes not just the outcome, but the warrior you become. To harness the power of stillness is to find strength not in constant motion, but in moments of quiet where the mind and body align like a perfectly balanced sword, waiting for the strike. Stillness is not weakness or passivity. It is the deep well of calm from which clarity, control, and power flow effortlessly. In a world that glorifies noise and haste, stillness becomes a rare and precious weapon, allowing you to pause, observe, and respond rather than react impulsively. When you cultivate stillness, you silence the chaos within, the racing thoughts, the swirling emotions, the restless urges, and create a space where true understanding emerges. This inner calm sharpens your perception, steadies your nerves, and strengthens your resolve, making your actions more precise and intentional. Like the tranquil surface of a lake reflecting the sky, stillness allows you to see clearly through confusion and deception. In battle and in life, those who master stillness move with grace and power, striking only when the moment is right, never wasting energy on needless motion. To harness the power of stillness is to command your spirit, to control your presence, and to wield your strength with unshakable focus. To detach from outcomes is to release the heavy chains of expectation that bind your spirit and cloud your judgment, allowing you to act with freedom and clarity. It means committing fully to your efforts without clutching desperately to the fruits of your labor. Whether success or failure, understanding that control over results is often an illusion. When you detach, you do not diminish your ambition or lessen your drive. Instead, you focus fiercely on the process, on the quality of your actions, and on the integrity of your intent. This mindset frees you from the paralysis of fear and the distraction of anxiety, making your decisions sharper and your energy more sustainable. Detachment does not mean apathy or carelessness. It means embracing uncertainty with calm acceptance, knowing that whatever happens, your worth and purpose remain intact. Like a warrior who strikes with precision but does not obsess over the wound, you learn to flow with life's unpredictable currents while maintaining your balance and resolve. To detach from outcomes is to cultivate resilience, to move beyond attachment, and to become a master of your own spirit, unshaken by praise or criticism, victory or defeat. To forge unbreakable will, Hagane no Ishi, is to shape your spirit in the relentless heat of adversity until it becomes as strong and enduring as tempered steel. This will is not born from fleeting motivation or momentary courage, but from persistent commitment to your purpose, even when every part of you aches to surrender. Said like the blacksmith who hammers molten metal again and again, you face trials that test your limits, pain, doubt, failure, and instead of breaking, you bend and harden, absorbing each blow as fuel for growth. Unbreakable will demands discipline that extends beyond action. It requires mental toughness to withstand despair, emotional resilience to overcome fear, and a steadfast heart to keep moving forward when the path is shrouded in darkness. This will anchors you when chaos storms around you, guiding your choices with unwavering resolve. It transforms hesitation into decisiveness and weakness into strength. To embody Hagane no Ishi is to become a warrior who cannot be shattered, because your spirit is welded to purpose, your mind sharpened by discipline, and your soul ignited by an unyielding flame. This is the essence of true mastery, the will that endures beyond all trials and emerges victorious. To study without ceasing is to embrace a lifelong journey of learning, where the mind remains as sharp and eager as a newly forged blade. It means recognizing that mastery is never a destination, but a continuous process of growth, exploration, and refinement. A true warrior does not rest on past knowledge or victories. Instead, they seek out new wisdom in every experience, every failure, and every encounter. This relentless pursuit demands humility, acknowledging that no matter how skilled you become, there is always more to discover, understand, and improve. Studying without ceasing sharpens your perception, deepens your insight, and equips you to face evolving challenges with confidence and adaptability. It requires discipline to read, observe, reflect, and practice regularly, even when motivation wanes or distractions call. By committing to unending study, you build a foundation of knowledge and skill that no obstacle can easily shake. This constant learning fuels innovation and resilience, ensuring you do not become stagnant or complacent. To study without ceasing is to honor the warrior's path, where the mind is as honed as the sword and growth is forged in the fires of curiosity and dedication. To control your emotions is to become the master of the tempest within, refusing to let anger, fear, or desire dictate your actions or cloud your judgment. It does not mean suppressing or denying feelings, but rather understanding their nature, recognizing their rise, and choosing how to respond with clarity and strength. A warrior who controls emotions moves like water, calm on the surface but powerful beneath, able to harness passion without being consumed by it. This control is forged through discipline, self-awareness, and practice, training the mind to observe emotions as passing storms rather than permanent states. When you master your emotions, you prevent impulsive reactions that lead to regret and instead act with intention and wisdom. This steadiness becomes your shield in chaos, allowing you to face conflict with a clear mind and an unwavering heart. Emotional control sharpens your focus, deepens your resilience, and strengthens your presence, making you unshakable even when the world around you rages. To control your emotions is to reclaim your power, walking your path with dignity and purpose, guided by reason and tempered by compassion. To act with decisiveness is to step forward with unwavering resolve the moment clarity emerges, refusing to linger in hesitation or doubt. It means trusting your training, your instincts, and your judgment, even when the path ahead is uncertain or the stakes are high. A decisive warrior does not waste precious time second-guessing or seeking endless reassurance. Instead, they move boldly, knowing that action, rooted in purpose and preparation, is the only way to shape fate. This decisiveness is forged through discipline and experience, tempered by reflection, but never paralyzed by fear. When you act decisively, you command your own destiny, seizing opportunities before they slip away, and confronting challenges head-on without faltering. It sharpens your effectiveness, inspires confidence in others, and builds momentum that carries you forward through adversity. To hesitate is to give power to chaos and doubt. To decide is to claim your strength and authority over your life. Acting with decisiveness is not reckless impulsiveness, but a warrior's clarity, an unshakable commitment to move forward with purpose, speed, and conviction, carving your path with every deliberate step. To walk your path alone is to embrace the solitude that shapes true warriors, recognizing that the journey toward mastery is often solitary and demanding. It means carrying your burdens, facing your fears, and making your decisions without the safety net of constant approval or guidance. Walking alone does not imply loneliness or abandonment. Rather, it is a profound acceptance that your highest growth comes from within, forged in the quiet moments when no one else stands beside you. This path requires courage to stand firm against doubt and external pressures, resilience to endure hardship without distraction, and faith in your own strength and vision. You learn to trust your instincts, rely on your discipline, and find peace in your own company. Walking alone hones your independence and sharpens your character, freeing you from the influence of others who may not understand your mission. It is in this solitude that clarity deepens, purpose solidifies, and your spirit becomes unbreakable. To walk your path alone is to commit fully to your own truth and mastery, moving forward with unwavering resolve, even when the world offers no comfort or companionship. This solitary journey is the forge where legends are born. As we stand together now, bound by the silent oath to walk the solitary path of true mastery, remember that this journey is not for the faint of heart, but for those willing to forge their spirit through fire, discipline, and unwavering resolve. The way of walking alone demands that we embrace solitude not as isolation, but as the crucible where clarity and strength are born. That we wield relentless self-discipline as the hammer shaping our will into unbreakable steel. That we master each moment with presence, face fear without hesitation, and adapt like water flowing through every challenge. It calls us to cultivate inner silence amidst chaos, pursue continuous improvement without end, and honor integrity even when unseen. The principles of Miyamoto Musashi are not mere words but a living code, a call to act decisively, to balance mind and body, to simplify our lives to what truly matters, and to walk alone with fierce independence and profound purpose. This path will test you, break you, and rebuild you stronger than before. If you choose to answer this call, you join a lineage of warriors who have walked before you, forging themselves beyond limits. Now, take these truths, breathe them into your daily life, and become the architect of your own destiny. The way is yours to walk.